Hey there, Leo. This is your tarot card reading for March 2022. Let's get into your Celtic cross. Your present situation, you have the King of Coins. The external forces, 8 of Coins. What's above you, 3 of Swords. Below you, the Tower. In the past, 5 of Cups. Near future, Ace of Wands. Your attitude about the present situation, 6 of Cups. Your environment, 8 of Swords. Hopes and fears, the World card. And long-term outcome, you have the Hermit. The bottom of the deck, which is the influencing energy or lesson to be learned, the 3 of Cups, which is about celebration of relationships, connections with others. However, in the past, you have the 5 of Cups, which is loss and grief when it comes to relationships with others. And in your hopes and fears, you have this World card, which is kind of a sense of completion and rebirth, and all the celebrations that go along with it. So I'm going to clarify the 5 of Cups. You have the Strength card, which is your card, Leo, and you have the 3 of Pentacles. So it could be that in the past there was a sense of trying to find strength when it came to collaborating, working with others. You have the 3 of Cups as the bottom of the deck. You have the 3 of Pentacles here, clarifying the 5 of Cups. And then you have the 3 of Swords, which is in your conscious mind. So it seems that when it comes to expanding outside, when it comes to creating and forming new relationships, new works, new thoughts, that there is a struggle internally that you go through. I'm going to clarify the Strength card. You have the Queen of Cups, which is basically emotions layered on emotions. So it could be that you are a sensitive person, that you are empathetic, that you really take things to heart easily. So I'm going to clarify the World when it comes to your hopes and fears. I would say that with the World card, you can see in this version of the World card, the Fool is actually inside in the middle there, which is basically once you've completed one aspect of a task, a journey, that a new one will start. And ultimately, it's all about enjoying the process, because life is continually cycles, completing cycles, starting cycles. So I'm going to clarify this World card. You have the 4 of Swords, and you have the Chariot. So with the 4 of Swords, it's a need to withdraw from, the disappointment or upset from the 3 of Swords, from the world at large, social media. The Chariot, it's basically just forward movement, on the go, overcoming obstacles. So it's almost as if the fears and anxiety are in needing to be constantly on this journey and really not even having the downtime to process things. So I'm going to clarify the Chariot. You have the 10 of Cups there. So there is an emotional reward for succeeding, but there is also a real drain on your mental process when you go through that situation. So here in the current situation, you have the King of Coins, which is basically stability. I'm going to clarify actually, see if that's an individual or a concept. Because basically it could be that you're trying to make your mark in the world where you can, create the life that you want, and it's a constant struggle in terms of what you're finding yourself up against to get there. But I'll clarify the King of Coins there. You have the High Priestess and the Ace of Swords. So with the High Priestess, it's kind of following your gut. It's an inner knowing. It's kind of using your senses to figure out the things that might be hidden. And with the Ace of Swords, it's about clarity and focus. So I'm going to clarify the High Priestess. You have the Nine of Wands. So it's kind of as if just even being in touch with your internal compass is draining and a chore for you. In terms of the external influences, you have the Eight of Coins, which is basically working on something, materializing your talents and skills. So I'm going to clarify that. You have the Three of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So it seems that when it comes to work, maybe you've been disappointed in the past, and you've had to find a new job. You need to kind of, take time from something that was disappointing in that situation, and then gear up again and start again. So I'm seeing kind of a cycle here where you are kind of putting your eggs into one basket, getting disappointed, and really needing to start again. So let me see here. Let's see, you have the Three of Swords here, which is in your conscious mind. So could be related to a job, it could be related to a recent breakup. It's just interesting because the Eight of Coins was clarified by the Three of Swords, Ace of Wands, and the Three of Swords is the conscious mind, Ace of Wands is the near future. So something just caught my attention. So let's clarify this Three of Swords here. That's kind of drawing your focus to it. You have the Tower and you have the Temperance card. I noticed that the Tower is also the card for the unconscious mind. So basically it seems you're focused on some upcoming disappointment or a disappointment that led to this Five of Cups situation in the past, but it's really affecting you and you're trying to find balance. You're trying to make a path forward, but it's almost like the concept of being a victim. In order to gain power from being a victim, you have to go back to that moment of being powerless. So here with the Three of Swords, you're trying to move forward, but it's moving forward from a place where you lost everything you thought was important. So it's kind of a constant reminder. But the thing about the Tower is that the Tower was built from a perspective of the ego and really provided no real security or structure. So I'm going to clarify the Tower. You have the Ten of Pentacles. So something that you thought would give you your happily ever after, family, kids, dog, castle, that seemed to fall away. I'm going to clarify the Temperance card. You have the Lovers. So trying to move on after there's been some type of upset when it comes to long-term decisions, or could be, I mean, I'm kind of sensing that this has to do with relationships overall. The Three of Cups, the bottom of the deck, is about more like not just a one-on-one relationship, but more with community, families, friends. But this could have affected your entire social circle. It could be some type of, divorce situation or a breakup where, other people are involved. So I'm going to clarify the Lovers card. You have the Empress card, which is basically abundance, femininity, sexuality, being a provider, fertile. I'm going to clarify that card. You have the Emperor. So basically, what's in your mind is the breakdown of your happily ever after security, being the power couple. I'm going to clarify the Emperor. You have the King of Pentacles. I think the King of Pentacles is, King of Coin, King of Pentacles is the situation there as well. So, that didn't seem to work out. Something didn't work out in the past, and a similar situation seems to be popping up. And it could be that really on your mind is this upset. You need to really process it because seems like you're still stuck in this Five of Cups. The Five of Cups, the Three of Swords, it's not a good, mindset to be in when you're trying to start something new. Especially when at the unconscious mind you have the Tower. So I'm going to clarify this Tower. You have the Queen of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. So even though you're thinking about this situation, this Tower situation, it's more the focus is on the mental process, how you talk about it to yourself, how you are thinking about the grief. In the unconscious mind, it's more the aspects that are influencing you might not really be aware of, but it's a sense of almost needing to take this cold approach to things and seeing yourself in a situation where now you need to maybe even beg for what you want for your happiness, and that really you had this power couple fairy tale lifestyle that was the Tower that got shattered, and now it's kind of like, well, now you're just going to be and cold-hearted person where really you're just going to take whatever you can get. But I see that you are going to be working through some things in your attitude about the situation. You have this Six of Cups, which is sixes are about inequality. So here with the Six of Pentacles, you can see that someone is giving and there's other people in need. And there might be a time when those roles are reversed and the people who received when they were in need will be in a position to provide to others. With the Six of Cups, it's kind of inequality when it comes to needing that emotional high or emotional support. So it could be that what you have in the present isn't really giving you that happiness, so you're reflecting back into the past. And the traditional Six of Cups, traditional Rider-Waite-Smith Six of Cups, you'll see there is kind of a taller individual handing a shorter individual a cup of, I believe it's like a potted flower. So it's kind of helping out. So here with the Six of Cups, I'm sensing, especially because there's children here, a view about something about the children. So if you had children in this relationship, how it affected them, or if you were hoping to have children in that fairy tale. So I'm going to clarify. You have the Sun card, which there's another child riding there on the Sun card. And you have the Seven of Pentacles. So it's kind of seeming that this is about what you were yearning for, having children, and then really not getting what you were hoping for. So I'm going to clarify the Sun card. You have the Devil card here. So with the Devil card, it's basically allowing ourselves to be attached to things that aren't serving our best interests. It could be negative patterns, negative habits, addictions, negative self-talk, or it could be just, thinking about fairy tale endings when there's no basis in reality, and reality has let us know that there's no basis for that thinking. So I'm going to clarify the Devil card. You have the Eight of Pentacles, which is basically working on something. So what I'm starting to see is really that this work here is, in the current situation or the external forces, is working on making this dream come true that you have. So interestingly, eights are about being close to completing the cycle, being in a position to adjust your target if you need to, and it's kind of like almost to that moment of completion. With the Eight of Swords, this is your environment. Eight of Swords is basically a sense of not being able to do anything. It is that victim mentality. The environment is usually external, and the Eight of Swords is an internal kind of thought process. Doesn't, just because the Eight of Swords indicates that you think you're limited, but you really are not, doesn't mean that it feels any less, what's the word? encasing, helpless. I'm going to clarify the Eight of Swords. You have the Knight of Cups. You have the Three of Cups. So it seems here that because you are in this place of grief, upset, kind of not getting what you wanted, even when people might be offering their assistance, their love, their affection, it's not something that you feel you can really act on. So I'm going to take a look at your near future, which is this Ace of Wands, and clarify that. I mean, it indicates it's a new beginning, but with the Knight of Swords, you might be rushing into it to kind of escape these not so awesome feelings. So with the Hermit, it's interesting because the Hermit is not rushing at all. The Hermit is kind of slow moving and intentional, going to the mountaintop to shine their light of knowledge on others and see if the others want to seek out that knowledge. It's not kind of rushing up into anybody's face to kind of prove anything. So I'm going to clarify the Hermit. You have the Two of Swords. So it seems like in the near future, you will be kind of rushing into possibly new relationships. But with the Two of Swords, it really kind of indicates a stalemate in terms of where that's going to go. You might get what you wanted, but I think the Hermit is kind of like you need to sit with that internal knowledge of what is it that you really want. And then the long-term outcome is a Hermit. So you kind of have to sit with what is it that you really want. I'm going to clarify the Hermit there. Page of Cups, Six of Wands. So with the Page of Cups, it's you want to be able to look at new experiences with an open heart, with imagination, with some vulnerability, and you want those to come out successful. The bottom of the deck, the clarifying deck, you have the Ten of Swords, which kind of indicates really being aware of who it is that you're trusting, who you are letting into your social circles, into your heart, who you are kind of partnering up with, who you want to be your home and your base type of thing. So I'm going to pull a card for you here, Leo, to get some words of wisdom from the universe. Okay, help appears in various ways. There is much support for you. Sometimes you may get so adrift you forget to look to the support systems that are with you continually. So this seems to be pointing to your environment where this is the Eight of Swords is how you might see it, but really there's offers of love and assistance. So maybe take a look at that a little bit more. I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective, and we'll see you next time. Take care.